Cherie Hansen here. I wanted to point to the fact that I have a YouTube channel, which I'll be posting this on. Please come aboard and subscribe. I'm very open about my process of growing up, of becoming more mindful, of becoming less of a tortured, dramatic child. That is my goal. I really want to become an adult before I get to 80. And I also have Facebook Thursday night, 7 p.m., a breathing together for clearing negative energy, for embodiment, for getting to a place where you're not carrying around a whole bunch of heavy weight from your heavy thoughts. You can just get rid of them. It's like having an organizer come into your house and get rid of the stuff you're holding on to with breath. It's only 20 minutes. It is free. You don't need to sign up for it. So those are my pitches before we begin. I wanted to talk a little bit about the experience I've had in the last 3 days. I was, as anyone who has migraine knows, picked up by the eagle claws of the migraine through my skull and just carried helplessly into the sky, flopping around. And it always feels endless when it's happening. You know, I can endure this, but can you give me a time it's going to cease? And as the day and night went on, I had constantly to bring myself back to the present and say, you know that your body is working on healing this. You know that there is going to be a time when you stand up without the migraine and you will go back to a peaceful life. The question I ask myself is, what triggered it? And I would say a couple of things. I know from studies that I have looked at that migraine is usually associated with repressed rage. So if you want to be super nice and you just don't want to let yourself look like you're human, you could have quite a few migraines. It's a unprocessed anger that's kind of buried deep in the body. The other thing is low pressure systems, heavy winds, and we had that. So I had it all at once. I was pissed off, you know, at the end of whatever rope I was on now. And so I went into this 3-day downturn. When I stood up at the end of 3 days and I'm feeling around to see, how am I? You know, it's like after an accident or something, you know, you walk around the vehicle to see if there are any big dents. And the thing that I was so interested in seeing was that it brought me immediately into gratitude. It brought me into gratitude that I don't live in chronic pain, that I am not in a place where I am suffering day to day. I have my house, I have my friends, I have my family. My family is healthy. So from despair and, you know, just being in too much pain to actually think clearly how to get out of pain, to a place where I realize that if you lift that pain in my head, I am now in a place where I understand how beautiful my life is. So I went for a walk in the rain and I discovered rocks. The surfaces of rocks were so beautiful with the glaze of rain over them, and twisted bits of wood along the waterfront. And the fact that I was walking 11,000 steps back to the base of maintaining my health through movement. And I came back to such a state of thankfulness that I am not having to deal with some form of physical stress in my life on a daily basis. So when we look at COVID, the future, 2021, and all the rest of it, we have to be very, very careful that we don't get into a place where we're catastrophizing. I think of it all the time. Like somebody who's surfing. You have to keep your balance. You've got to be right here. And something comes, you don't stand there and go, oh my God, this wave is too big, or this thing wasn't what I predicted, or this future is not in my plan. And you just stay in a place where you stay very, very balanced and loose. And then when the waves come, you can navigate them with grace. So as we go into 2021, I think the most important thing that we can do is to not hold expectations. To not be in a place where, okay, we have a new number on it, it's all going to be different. It's an organic process dealing with an organic virus. And we have to be in a place where we are really strongly invested in baby steps, in the present, and in the use of breath to bring us home. Because if we can come home, we're not going to be in a state of constant emotional telenovela flashing around in the world asking, what is this? What is this? I wasn't expecting it. So here is what we can expect. Expect the unexpected. If you need to expect something, invest in the unexpected. Really write on your calendar, what the hell? Because what is happening next week? It's what the hell? So if you can get into a place where you can loosen up, ride the wave, give up the sense that outside is somehow going to determine everything in your life, and come to a place where yes, it's like a migraine. Yes, it's very painful. I can't do anything. But what can I do? I can breathe, and I can stay in my body, and I can let go of the need to control. And that's the lesson that came back to me the last 3 days. Let go of the need to control, because all it does is cause a secondary form of suffering. So as we go forward, just write it on your calendar what's going to happen. What the hell? I don't know. And let the waves come, and keep yourself balanced. Just ride those waves and keep your goal on what you are becoming. Who are you becoming? Tomorrow, next week, in a month, in 3 months, in a year. Who do you want to be? Focus on that. That you can control. Thank you. I would really be pleased if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you know somebody who's struggling and something I'm saying may help them, please invite them to come and listen. Thank you very much. Let's all be adults.